This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings, powered by eXp Realty. Online at madeformoreliving.com.
Matt, have you noticed the increasing trends for like multi-generational living in homes? Like you're driving down the road?
Oh, absolutely. Especially with the price of homes these days.
Yeah.
I think people are looking for ways to have like a multi-generational dwelling, more than just like a mother-in-law's quarters, right? Where you have an extra bedroom downstairs and she has her own bathroom. It's like she has her own suite. I've actually thought about it myself of putting something else on the property.
So your mother-in-law can live there?
Right, exactly. Or I could just have a space of my own, watch whatever I want, eat whatever I want to eat, right?
Yeah.
Have a break from the family every once in a while. But I'm curious what exactly an ADU, that's what it's called, right? An ADU,
you got
is.
it. Yeah.
Because obviously I see the sheds in the parking lot at the Home Depot and I'm thinking, is that an ADU? What exactly is that?
Yeah, that's exactly why we have Dom Montez on the show. He's with RiseCon. Thanks for being on the show, Dom.
Thank you for having me.
So, Dom, what is the question? So, what is an ADU? How would you define that?
Those are good questions, and that's something that's really popular at the moment. An ADU stands for Accessory Dwelling Units.
Okay.
Accessory Dwelling Unit.
Yeah, they're mainly another house on your property. They start off at roughly about 500 square feet, and they go as high as 1,100 square feet.
Is that regulated by something, or like 5 to 11?
Yes, you have to be under 1,200 square feet. So we could go up to 1,199 in the backyard as long as you have the space.
And is that, so we're talking like regionally here in the Sacramento region, is it based off county, or what are those limits based on?
It's based off the state.
Oh, the state.
The state laws, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So anywhere in California, it's 5 to 1199.
Correct. We can make one as small as 280 square feet, but that's more of a studio, that open studio with the bathrooms. Most ADUs have a full-on kitchen, a walk-in bathroom, a laundry room, living room, small dining room.
It's a standalone unit.
Correct. And it's a house. A lot of people are calling them small houses or flats or granny, but it's an actual house. They're 9-foot ceilings. It's a full-on.
Are they separately metered, or do they share the meter with the main house?
They are separately metered, so you could rent it out. So that's one of the main things that people are doing nowadays is they're trying to get rental income and or putting their kids in there or in-laws.
Yeah.
Because of the housing pricing. It's so expensive.
Got it. And so,
do you need an expansive property like in Rio Linda or Loomis, or can you put one in a residential suburban backyard?
You can, as long as we have enough space to build it out.
There's no regulations or requirements of how
are.
much space you need to have?
Oh, well, you have to have enough. The setbacks from the fence and your property line have to be a minimum of 5 feet.
Okay.
Right. There's some exceptions that they do that you can do less than 5 feet. You can go up to 3.5 feet, but it gets a little pricier because we have to build firewalls.
Yep.
Interesting.
I remember that.
Yeah.
So why has this become so popular?
Affordability.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. So, for example, when my in-laws come to town, they will actually they'll either stay in a hotel or they will stay in an Airbnb. But that Airbnb is an ADU on somebody's property, and so for them it's an affordable option to compared to renting a hotel or staying in a hotel. For the landlord, it's an extra way to make income and help offset their monthly expenses, whether it's their mortgage or whatever else they have going on. Yeah. And so what we're seeing, though, too, is a lot of different benefits to the ADU. So rather than put, grandma into a nursing home,
correct.
They can live on the property.
That's a great idea.
And so now imagine, like, let's say, I would never do this. So, Robin, Nana, if you're listening, you're not moving in. But let's say, she wanted to do that, and we wanted her to do that. Then my mother-in-law could technically live on the property, help subsidize the monthly mortgage, and now there's built-in childcare for the kids as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of benefits, and it's beneficial to her. She gets to hang out with her grandkids, and she's got extra support, and
she has her own house. It's like a full-on space. Yeah, she's got her own kitchen, her laundry room. She's got her own bathroom, bedroom, dining room. It's
pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Is there a bigger picture, though, of what's happening in our society of why this is becoming more and more popular? What's going on in our culture?
What do you think, Don?
I would say just with the same thing you see right now with traffic, right? When I moved to the area here from the Bay Area, back in 2011, I loved driving down 65. It was such a peaceful drive for me.
Yeah.
But now everybody hates it.
Yeah.
It's so jam-packed. It's just our population's getting over, what do you call it?
Overrun?
It's just too
Yeah.
much. So
Yeah.
people can't afford, the prices are going up, they can't afford the houses, so where are you going to stick all these people? So now investors are being smart, right? They're like, well, I'm already renting this property. Why not get double the rent? I'll just build an ADU.
Yep.
It also increases my property value for resale,
Yep.
right? Now you have 2 rental properties on that.
And so to answer your question as well, Matt, the state has actually made it easier for people to put these ADUs down.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why you're seeing them spring up more. Because of that, there's a housing shortage. Like even though interest rates are incredibly high, on average when I walk into a person's home, so I'll typically do somewhere around 10 listing appointments a week, and I'll walk into somebody's home, and I would say 7 out of the 10 times there's less than 2 months of inventory in that zip code. And so anything under 2 months is considered a seller's market in our area. And so even though interest rates are still crazy high, even though prices are still high, there's still a need for more affordable housing. And ADUs are often a solution to that.
And these are rentals, though, right?
Rentals, or you don't have to rent it out.
You don't have to rent it out.
Right.
Like right now, you mentioned you want a private area, right? So I would build you an ADU, probably for you itself, probably a 500 square foot ADU, and it's a house. It's a 500 square
Right.
foot home, but you have your own private area. You have your own kitchen, your own bathroom, a bedroom, or if you want it to be an office or a cigar lounge, like
Yeah,
whatever you
buddy.
want.
Here we
We're
go.
gonna create as they say, a man cave, but it's a full on house.
We all know what's going to happen. My
What?
wife's going to move all her crafting stuff in there, and
Yep.
it's going to become her space.
Exactly. That's how
we know
it works.
That's what happens. When I got married, I basically handed the keys over to my wife and said, "This is your house now."
You're a smart man.
There
Yeah.
you go.
You're a smart man.
But you're seeing this trend, but a lot of people are asking, like, what are the costs now? I'm like, what can I expect to pay if I want to put an ADU on my property? So what are your averages?
The rough, it just depends on the finishes, right? The rough costs are anywhere from $280 a square foot to about $300 a square foot. And that's just a basic home. So if you want to
Okay.
build something for like 500 square feet, depending on the finishes, you multiply that times 280.
So we'll do 280 times 500, 140 grand.
Correct.
Okay.
And that's fully completed. And that includes permits, engineering fees, city fees.
And you guys get priority, right? Because you
Yes, ADUs always get priority. So if I wanted to build a 3,000 square foot home, like in Loomis per se, I've got there's 2 of them in the pipeline for that. They're probably 6 months out. But
Why is
ADUs,
that? Why do ADUs get priority?
Because they're a lot faster to build. We could typically get an ADU finished and turnkey within 4 months. Because we're not bothering anybody, right? We're just going and building a house in the back. Nobody's getting, displaced. We're not taking anybody out of their home. So we just go and work and knock it out. And the city wants that because of the housing crisis. They want us to do it as fast as possible. So they're doing all they can to make us a priority so that they go through. A lot of the drawings we have on our website are already pre-approved.
Yep.
So we already know. Once I go to all the cities, and the city already, every city knows us. Lincoln, Roseville, Rockland, Loomis, Granite Bay. We've been doing them in this area for so long that they know us. So when we walk in with a pre-approved plan, they just checked, oh yeah, we already approved 4 of these, and they'll get it done in 2 weeks.
Johnny, how does it affect the value of the home, the primary home? Does it depreciate or does it?
It would
How does it
improve it.
affect
It would
it?
improve it. It would improve it. The hard thing from a real estate agent's perspective, because this is still a newer phenomenon, is finding the comps. And
Yeah.
so it would be based off the comps. So what do the comps show? Hey, this house has an ADU. And so I'm looking all the time. Like I love the fact that this is a new trend. So I'm always looking for homes that have ADUs, but they're increasingly common, but they're still rare. Like it's still hard to find. So does it increase the value of your home? Absolutely. How much? It depends. Depends on the lot. It depends on the layout. Like, are they walking down the driveway past your garage, or do they have their own separate entrance? Is there an alley? Maybe they can just access through the alley. It just really depends on the situation. But does it improve the value? Yes. Yeah,
That is
and it also depends on how much you can rent it out for too.
Right.
You know, and what's great too is there are like our lender, JJ Mack's team. We were just on a call this morning, and they actually provide funding for ADUs. So they will actually loan. So you can, let's say you bought the house and you have this massive backyard, and you're like, man, I'd really like to put an ADU back there. They will actually provide funding so you can put the ADU back there.
Based on what you could rent it out for, huh?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like a precursor to what you're about to get in 4 months from now in rental. So they'll lend it upon that, right?
Correct.
Based on that.
And they'll actually do that when you're purchasing the home too. So let's say you're purchasing the home and it has this big backyard, and you're like, hey, I would like to put an ADU back there. You have 12 months to have that ADU constructed. So just call up Dom's team at RiseCon. They'll have it done in 4 months, and then boom, you're compliant. But they will actually provide a loan based off what the projected rent would be once you have the ADU in the back. So not only is there a growing trend with builders and with the state, but also with like fantastic lenders like the JJ Mack team who provide that flexibility for people looking to purchase a home.
Yeah, it wasn't available a year ago.
Yeah.
What they're doing right now.
Yeah.
JJ Mack's team, it wasn't available a year ago. So the state is really, really pushing to help all these homeowners to get these done.
And it shows like the credibility of like increasing the value. And so a lender's not going to lend money on something that they're going to lose. Like that's risky. So they're seeing this as a safe investment, a safe vehicle for their money. So that also speaks to how profitable and how secure your money would be in if you decided to go down the ADU route with RiseCon.
That's very true.
Yeah. And so, but that's not all you guys do, right?
No, actually, we are a full-service general contracting team. We do full home remodels. We also build commercial buildings and restaurants. Mm-hmm. We just finished three in the last year or so. They're all local. There's 2 in Lincoln and 1 in Loomis. And we also do flips. We help people that like to do investments, and we flip houses for people.
So what I really enjoyed about your company is you actually have architects on staff, right?
An architect and an engineer, and we have a full in-house counsel. We have an attorney. We have a tax accountant. We have financial advisors. Like we have our own call center. I mean, we're definely very well prepared.
You're more than the regular contractor that shows up in a beat-up truck and, in a can of Copenhagen.
Yeah, right.
And we're going to get more into that right after the break.
Hey, so listen to this. Kathleen and Phil wanted to sell their home in Folsom and retire out of state. Johnny and his Made for More team were able to not only sell their home in 6 days, but also earn them a record price for that neighborhood. That's what happens when you work with the best. They sell homes 27% faster than other homes on the market, and for, on average, a 3% higher purchase price. Expect more, get more with Johnny Jennings and the Tom Daves team with Made for More Realty, brokered by EXP. Just Google Made for More Realty today and get more for your home. License number 581837.